Well, happy Thanksgiving, guys. It is a beautiful day outside.
Sure is.
And inside it is a wreck because we are working on some fun things. If you guys, Emma's been doing some crazy cricketing. And so these are actually glow-in-the-dark vinyls. So this one's for my niece. And then they all wanted sweatshirts, which I thought was funny, but they all glow in the dark. I just thought that was cool. And so we got some hoodies here. And anyways, got all this going. And actually, I want to show you this little guy. We got this as a gift, and I thought this was really cool because this is a big deal to me. So they call this a Ninja Flip. Can you guess why? This is really cool. So we have been using our air fryer for a very, very long time. We've loved it, and we can actually run it off of our solar up there. You can't beat it. Makes it so convenient to cook, and we don't have a microwave here. So we just store that in there, and it's more efficient. So typically it's a lot easier than cooking on a stove. Steaks actually turn out pretty decent in an air fryer, believe it or not. But the downside is that when you gotta clean that big bucket, right? We had a bucket version. You just stick that in the sink, and our sink's not very big. And right now it's filled with a trash bag here. This, however, this is really cool because you can just put a little bit of like tin foil or parchment paper. What do you call it? Parchment paper? Baking paper? It's a really, really nice thing though, because we can just clean off, either take the thing off and toss it and off we go, or just simply rinse the pan. But it also heats up significantly faster than the last one we had, which was a Gourmet. Anywho, I love this, and it cooks really fast, preheats in like seconds, like even 475, right? It's really awesome. So anywho, I'm very excited about this. I don't want to say it's a game changer, but it is pretty dang nice. We also made a cooking video for Escape, so check out the Escape trailer channel. Yeah, we did a cooking video. Emma made some really delicious pizza. It was actually quite good. So anywho, AC. Working beautifully. Today's the day it actually feels like we need air conditioning, at least inside, because it's nice and warm. It is nice and warm, and yeah, off we go. Now we're working on another project here, and this is the funny thing. So we've got our insulation. So this is all plumbing. That video probably will come out before this. So this is our plumbing, and the only thing we need now is to fill, let me see if I can show you, this gap. So for some reason there's a big hole here. Yeah, we'll go get more of that great stuff tomorrow when it's not Thanksgiving. The stores are open, but I am loving this fix here. More on that, it'll be a separate video, but anyhow, good insulation there. Loctite spray foam though, I would not recommend. But if you're wondering like, is it gonna look like crap? Well, that's what the spray paint is for, so easy. Emma's wall is coming out nicely. Really nice. So she's going to go ahead and she's going to do a separate border on this, I think. And then tonight we're actually going to project. We have a little projector. We've had it for a while. It's been hanging out in the bus. But this guy is going to project the image with some text, little fancy font. We'll get that going tonight. She's going to trace that, then paint it, and off we go. But Lenny is still doing amazing right now, powering one bedroom and our trailer, but that battery that we ended up replacing, and then the new one looked like it was kind of going bad. This new battery balancer equalizer business, that has been working flawlessly, and everything. I mean, it's literally like adding another battery. Really, it feels like adding 3 batteries compared to how long it was not lasting before. So I'm glad that was an easy fix there. Then we're grabbing our tools. Need to set up this camera here. This will be nice to have here in the bus. Fridge works perfectly well. Obviously we don't have time right now to go ahead and renovate. We're gonna hit the road again very soon, but more on that very shortly. But we've got, all the tools we need. We're getting those all packed up into the bins, and we've got, today's the 27th. We will be leaving either the 31st or the 2nd, depending on what what our plans turn out to be. Some things are still up in the air right now, but this is an update I wanted to share with you guys. Thought this was an interesting one. So I ended up repairing this today. So this is a King Bull Light Rider 2.0, and my sister loves this bike. It's also so pretty. See that? Oh man. So what ended up happening though is that the threads on the rear axle, basically they flattened, and so instead of being like this, they were kind of squished together, which means you can't thread anything. And over time, more and more, and then it just wouldn't it just wouldn't thread on at all. There's no repairing that. And so they went ahead and sent a new hub, but it was basically the entire wheel and, you know, this whole assembly here. Ironically though, the ends were smashed, so we couldn't just put that on there. So we contacted Kimball again, and they had been really responsive. And at this point, it's been like 3 days. I haven't heard back from them. And maybe, you know, maybe they're busy, who knows? But just 3 business days, and we're like, golly. So instead, what I was like, look, we can't make it any worse, right? And so I grabbed a disc in the grinder and went at it, cut a real straight line. It's a real thin disc. So that actually allowed us to get this guy running. And then I also took the multi-tool here and trimmed that, because for some reason, you know, I don't know if this is just not connected to the right bolt, I don't know, but this was rubbing. And so 2 of those things fixed, and then my sister will just have to bleed her own brakes, because for some reason I've never had any luck with that. That is why I'm not a fan of hydraulic disc brakes, because they always need to be bled. They like soften, and it's not the brake. The brake pads, we checked that as well, since we had the wheels off anyways. It's not that, that's not the issue. So I don't know, we just never had any luck with those. So, but mechanical disc brakes, you just pull the wire. And there's also, some of them also have a second adjustment point, but many of them, if not all of them that we've had, have not had like a second screw where you can push the other pad in. They probably because they're kind of cheap. But anywho, so we are also looking for new e-bikes. It would be lovely to have e-bikes. It just really would. We're going to be stationary. We love regular bicycles. We've ridden them around a little bit, not on video, obviously, but we had a little break the other day. Took him for a spin, but cruising around on my sister's e-bike, I'm like, I miss this. You know, it's just the fact of the matter. I miss it. We would love to have electric bikes again. So down the road, we'll see. But the other thing is I'd like to make sure that we don't get like super cheap bikes. And really it's a matter of like what can keep up with us. And that's kind of the hard part, right? So what can keep up with us? Because they're on the back of a trailer. Can it last? You know, those are things that matter. And the longevity is another factor, right? Battery size and then obviously component quality, right? Like Kimball, I gotta say, I just hadn't been very impressed. The amount of work that it has required, and just the feeling just kind of feels cheap. So pros and cons to everything, but my sister has been loving that bike. So where it works for my sister, it would not necessarily, I don't think it would hold up for us. But I'm glad we have it up and running though. And if I didn't mention this already, we have our Christmas decorations up. Some of them did not make it this year. Now that everything's like torn apart right now. We got our little tree up and our little ornaments here. I thought those were kind of cute. And Emma ended up finding this. So we got this at Walmart for a couple bucks here. And then this guy broke, we've glued it, and that was just Velcroed there. Yeah, these also kind of lost their hanging abilities. Our disco balls, as we've been driving around, going to dump on the tanks and things like that, the disco balls have one by one been falling off, but we've got, what, we've got 20 pack, 30 packs, so.
We've got like 3 left.
Yeah, well, so yeah, 3 left out of 30. Hey, we're putting them back up. And Disco Santa's there. We've got our stockings. And then on the front, we have that little USB Merry Christmas light. And you might say, well, so did you put those up before Thanksgiving? Yes, absolutely. I don't know why. I love Christmas decorating. We had icicle lights, actually. We took them off of our awning when we just had them attached. We just kind of wrapped them around and they stayed. But the icicle lights are not the ticket, I don't think, because they don't match the truck. So when we plug in and the truck lights, you know, stays lit up, it's like blue, and these were more of a warm color. All right, anything else to share?
No, I'm just working on projects.
Yeah. We're
Working out some Christmas wrapping and stuff today.
We're having a good time, hanging out with the family. We've got some eating to do, and I hope everybody has been having a great Thanksgiving. I know not everybody can be with the family and the friends that they want to be, but so even some people are working today, and everybody has a different situation. But hopefully the videos bring us some joy, and hopefully everybody gets to at least have a nice little meal, whatever that means for them. Steak, turkey, ham, whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.